Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen. It appears that I've been called out. Yes, I've been called out once again on the amazing platform that is X. And the situation over here is that I am being painted as a bit of a hypocrite. Yes, the gacha space is very familiar with the acts of hypocrisy, especially with certain content creators out there who like saying one thing and then doing another. But unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on which side of the Saint derangement syndrome line you are on, I'm not a hypocrite. And so this is where we're going to start talking about some of the stuff, some of the accusations that have been hurled at me, and of course, some of the fake news, literally fake news that is being pumped out by some of the most unreliable leakers in the gacha space. And don't worry, we've got the proof, we've got the glue to prove everything that we're talking about. So let's just go ahead and get some context over here. Yo, bro, Saint, will you be making one of these for WuWa? Can't wait to watch. And of course, this is my video over here talking about how absolutely ridiculous the design of Suna's maid skin is in Zenless Zone Zero. Yeah, pretty aggressive title over here, but this is really just a goofy little thing that we did. We just reacted to the whole, was it version 2.5? I don't fucking know. The version 2.5 live stream for that game. And so that's what we did over here. And I am apparently already being called a hypocrite because the idea is that, like, oh, well, Saint, he wouldn't dare make a critical video about Wuthering Waves, right? He wouldn't dare go ahead and cause any issues for a title that he made his main game about. Let's just ignore all of the videos that we made about Wuthering Waves 2.7. Yeah, reality of WuWa 2.7. Kuro Games messed up, and I talk about the fact there's literally no events in the patch. And you're probably familiar with my streak when it comes to 2.7. Bro, I have been taking a fat dookie on that update since basically the story was over. Yeah, Hoyoverse chills ruined WuWa 2.7. The 2.7 situation is crazy. My honest thoughts, it's mid. Kuro isn't listening. Yeah. That was literally, I think, like 6, 7, 8 videos. People called me like a Giga Doom poster for making all of these. But the thing is, that was the truth. And Kuro Games has since fixed the fucking game after that. They've been putting a shit ton of event variety in the update. And it's been pretty smooth sailing from there. And I guess the take is over here, well, we're just gonna ignore. Like, I didn't see it. Yeah, it's like the kid that, like, you know, it's like a kid, right? When you were playing hide and seek, they were like, oh, I can't see you, so you can't see me, bitch. Yeah, how'd you find me? I can't see you. How'd you see me? And like that's how they're hiding. I'm dealing with a dumb part of the community over here. But they're so stupid that it's an easy opportunity for me to do some farming. And the way that I know they're stupid is that they have a sparkle or a sparksy profile picture. So let's go ahead and read where the contradiction is supposed to come from. 3.x new character. Finally, Lolicons get some good news. A 5-star limited Loli in a future region. And so let's just get this straight right off of the bat. This is supposed to be a leak. However, it is by Seal Leaks. And some of the context over here for Seal Leaks is that they've literally had tier lists made about them, right? Where they're literally called a tier 5 leaker. Yes, the leaks community is actually just going ahead and calling them out for being one of the most, like this is the lowest tier that they fucking have. They're like using the Pridewin tier list rankings to show that these guys are garbage. And so naturally, when you know their name is also Seal Leaks, and they're clearly meant to be more affiliated with Hoyoverse than any other game, doesn't it make sense that they would decide to do something that would just rage bait the fuck out of the Wuthering Waves community for fun? Because one thing is abundantly clear about the reaction to this news from the Wuthering Waves community, and this shit is just hilarious over here. You can see that this shit got posted on the actual WuWa Leak subreddit. And the funniest part about this is that it immediately got mass downvoted into infinity and beyond. Literally 0. It's negative right now, and it has like 362 comments at this point. And a later screenshot shows it's still negative with the fucking Boeing 747 number of comments right there too. And you want to know what the end result of it was? The post ended up getting deleted. It got mass reported so many times that it got fucking deleted because people were all under the impression this is some bullshit. This is some absolute trash. And you want to know what the funniest part is about this, guys? This is just indicative to how the Wuthering Waves community just views characters like, well, I'm gonna be honest here, like this one. One of the big discoveries that you'd probably find is that this is one of the most unowned units in the game. This is Rosia over here. And every single time I end up doing an account review, and of course, any single time I end up talking about meta takes, nobody actually has this character. Nobody has, like, her weapon, all of that, and oftentimes she just isn't factored in the discussion at all. There are some people out there that, for some godforsaken reason, pulled her S6, but you know, it is what it is. We don't like to talk about those people too much. So the situation kind of is building up as follows. People don't like these fucking units. Rosia was possibly the lowest revenue banner we've ever had in the history of the game. And you want to know what the funniest part about all this is, guys? The funniest realization that you'll have is that it's not just global that has this take, guys. It's also, and this is going to be a big one over here. Let me just make sure I pull up the right link. It's also going to be China. Yes, China. We literally have over here the ownership rate of a bunch of different units in the game. And as you can see at the bottom, Rosia is currently the most unowned female 5-star unit in China. The most unowned one. And the craziest thing is, right, guys? This was like the 2.0 debut banner. 2.0 was previously a record holder for revenue. And this is kind of just telling you there was only one real banner in that patch. It was Carlotta. And then anything afterwards was basically not really factored in at all. And I think actually Jinxie on her rerun was pulled way more often than a Rosia, because I do believe Jinxie was in the second phase. Yeah, it was Jeja Carlotta phase 1 and then Rosia Jinxie phase 2. And I'm 99% sure Jinxie actually outsold Rosia in this circumstance. And so naturally, right, stuff's making a bit more sense now, right? Stuff's making a bit more sense. Nobody in this player base, regardless of the region, actually wants this type of unit. And the response is so polarizing, guys, right? Like this is what the community is literally saying. Never been happier opening a comment section. This thing got 500k views, 4.2k likes, all of that. And then people are just out here clowning on this suggested leak. They're just out here clowning on it completely. And the realization that I think most people are probably having is that it's just completely bullshit. It's just completely not real. And the discussion is starting to get to a point, right, where they're starting to, like, argue over what the definition of, like, a Loli character is. Let me just define it for you. A lot of people find shit like this in their game to be, like, I'm just gonna be real here. A lot of people find shit like this to be fucking weird. Okay? They just don't like this shit, bro. And I'm gonna be honest. If you don't like this shit, there's absolutely no problem with it. There are tons of people that decided they wanted to drop the game, or if they were considering playing the game, they just dropped it as well once they saw that this fucking shit was in there. Because the situation kind of is, bro, this is meant to be, like, obviously, like, an underage high school, maybe middle school. I don't fucking know, right? It's not really clearly defined in the game. I wonder why, right? She got like these fucking garter belts, all of that. It's just like fucking crazy. You would expect an outfit like this to be given to a character like, I don't know, Bernice, right? Bernice or something like that. I think she would look good in something like this. Or Yanagi. But no, you get like the characters that are meant to be like teen idols wearing shit like this, right? And it's just the impression over here is that that's just not what the Wuthering Waves community wants. And they don't want it so much that they're out here fucking nuking posts that are even insinuating that something like that could be there. That's hilarious. once you think about it, right? That's just goofy. And this is the reality, guys. I'm very happy with the response over here. I'm very happy because it just shows the level of desperation that people are willing to go through to try to trash on the game. First, it's an absolutely unconfirmed, no proof at all, no pictures, nothing like that. Just a statement from one of the most proven unreliable leakers in the fucking space right there. Tier fucking 5, because they're known to be dog shit, just goes out and makes a rage baity fucking post. It's obviously a fake leak. It's obviously not real. And it's only there to try to sow additional drama in the Wuthering Waves community because, and it's very simple here, guys, because all their games are shit. HSR is shit, bro. It's garbage. ZZZ, triple garbage for all the Z's in the title. And Genshin, I don't even know what the fuck they're releasing right now. Bro, like, Nod Cry, the hype of it fell off of a fucking cliff. Like, with, like, Varka's banner. Bro, I don't even know who's still playing that game anymore. And, of course, wouldn't a leaker that's oriented with those communities just want to do everything in their power to start rage baiting WuWa? And the craziest thing is, guys, I think this is being done intentionally, knowing that 3.2 is, in a lot of definitions, right, kind of just like a filler patch. Let's be honest here, right? I'm not going to go in and say that there's a fuck ton of events that are available right now. I'm not going to go ahead and say that, you know, this is the most content-rich patch ever with no new map expansion or any of that. I think it's designed to be a low-scope patch right before the anniversary. And in a lot of definitions, it is filler. And some could even say that the story by itself feels a little bit filler, too. And so what better time for known rage baiters, known misinfo spreaders, to spread even more misinformation in the community, and of course, bring me alongside it for the fucking ride. Because I don't even consider this leaks. You want to know why? Because I don't think it's fucking real. I think that this is just fake garbage. And so, we're at the point where people are spreading fake, not real leaks to just sow drama. And because they're not fucking real, guys, that's why we're covering them. Just like I said at the start of the video, these leaks aren't fucking real, and they're just being weaponized to attack Wuthering Waves. And this is probably the most ridiculous part of the discussion. And I'm gonna start showing you all some of the crazy comments that have been spawned on this fucking post. Like, guys, this is the type of stupid ass discussion that people are starting to have now, where they're like, oh, actually, by the way, Sigrika and Mornier are supposed to be lollies as well. Oh yeah, and so is Carlotta, Cardathea, and Phoebe too. If you're at the point where you're so desperate for some sort of shot to take at Wuthering Waves, where you're saying that, A, characters like this, and this, and this, and this are lolly units, I have a statement to make to you. You're retarded. This is what the design over here is, just what's called a petite woman. And something you might find out, you might not actually know it yet, ladies and gentlemen, is that this game is made by Chinese people. This game is made by Chinese people who live in East Asia. And East Asians are also, on average, some of the shorter people in the world. And so in a lot of ways, these designs over here that we're looking at actually reflect what some of those women look like in real life. And obviously, right, I'm not saying that Phoebe's Asian over here, but there are plenty of actual white people that also have this fucking build. Yes, there are plenty of white people that also have this build. Black people too, right? Whatever, Hispanic, all of that. Actually, Hispanics are super short as well. It exists out there for pretty much every single demographic. And the take, right, that you're comparing designs like this to actual, literal, canonically in-lore children like this, what are you doing here, you absolute dipshits? You bums. But then, remember what I said before, right? These leaks are fake, and they're entirely being done to sow drama. And of course, fuel this sort of retarded discussion. Isn't it kind of clear what's going on? Isn't it kind of obvious what's going on, guys? It's just here to create issues out of nowhere. And if that isn't obvious by now, may God help you and your inability to think critically, because that's really all there is to this. Let me know what you all thought. Peace out.